Mas. So welcome you to this brief interview discussion on how customer experience can drive business growth for organizations, particularly in B2B. So why don't we get started with a brief introduction about yourself, Mas?
Yeah, hi. So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and been looking forward to speaking with you one-on-one for a very long time. I know we're connected through Customer Institute, and and you're doing some amazing work in India. So I wanted to get in contact with you on this, and share that knowledge from you as well. For myself, I've been in this CX or insight area for nearly 30 years now, and mainly client side, financial services, retail, but I've also worked in KPMG as a management consultant for 2 years. I've worked with data agencies, so I've seen front end, back end of organizations, operational, as well as engaging directly with customers. So I have many different lenses, and which has got me to where I am today. Building my own consultancy, RUCX. A lot of people ask me, what does RUCX mean? So RU, as in English, is a question. RUCX, yes.
Okay.
But also in Persian, and I speak Urdu. So
Okay.
RU is Ruh. Ruh for the soul, yeah?
Okay.
So the soul of CX. So my mission statement is touching the heart and the soul of your customer.
Excellent.
And,
very interesting.
So that is what RUCX stands for.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's why I chose it. So my aim has always been to bring people first, client, not just customer first, but people first philosophy, humanizing organizations and using their business language to humanize the organization through understanding the end-to-end engagement of people in each of those touch points. And that's what I promote, and that's my mission.
Absolutely, Mas. Very interesting history behind the name of your organization and the theme of not looking at customer experience from just merely the perspective of the customers alone, but also seeing it largely from the perspective of the humans behind all this science is a very interesting concept. So what are some of the interesting projects that you are working on currently relating to customer experience?
There's 2 current projects that I'm working on and collaborating with B2B organizations as well as B2C, is building the ROI tool, which has just been accredited by the Customer Institute. And it was a rigorous process of getting that passed. So the ROI tool helps an organization understand the whole end-to-end opportunities of revenue and risk. And right now, where all organizations at all B2B and B2C organizations or leaders are asked to prove why do CX, prove the ROI, the return on investment of doing CX. So what I have created is I've flipped the script and I've said, rather than proving to you from bottom up how CX can bring revenue for you, let's look at how you are currently doing your CX and where you are leaking your potential revenue from the different stages, and where you can improve those improvements in the stages and increase your revenue in those areas. So I've turned it around and saying, rather than proving to you, here is what CX is value, I'm showing you this is where you're losing money. There's a risk for not doing good CX.
And beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So doing it beforehand. Yeah. So very interesting concept. And this is based on actual numbers, right?
So this tool is actually very private. It's controlled by the user. You log in, it's free to log in. You create total active customers, your total revenue for the last 12 months. You create your unique journey stages. Board level do not understand customer journeys, but they understand sales funnel. There is no difference between sales funnel and customer journey. How? Because there is inquiry and retention and all the stages in between. It's the same thing for sales funnel. So I've used that. This is how you get CX in the boardroom. So you use those funnels whoever is filling this, putting in your total volume of customers, and the average revenue is calculated by the tool, and it tells you the potential people you lost when you are going through those stages, and it calculates the total revenue loss for you. And then it has a scenario where it says, if you want to improve any of those stages by 10%, 5%, how will that show you an uplift by how much million, revenue that you can return back? And it gives you recommendations and everything. There's also a maturity assessment in there, which also tells you where your gaps are as an organization and how you can improve those gaps that will improve your journey stages. And so therefore it gives you options of how to improve your organization, not only as a B2B, but also a bit as a B2C as well.
Absolutely. So it's more like a holistic tool, which is very useful when someone wants to champion customer experience initiatives or transformation in an organization. How do we convince the people in the decision-making capacity about why they should consider fixing CX rather than doing something else? So it's a very interesting tool. So this tool is, you said it's agnostic, industry agnostic, but I also understand it is not related to any specific initiative because it's only talking about the challenges with the as-is system. Correct? The leakage which is happening in the as-is system. So it is agnostic to the tool or solution that you want to bring in place, but it mainly focuses on the challenges with the current system. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, it shows you currently where you are in your stages and your loss. Then it identifies those key areas to say this is where you need to improve your journeys. So then it's giving you recommendation on where you need to improve more. Is it your employee experience side? Is it intentionally improving your CX? Is it the service departments? What are your so you use this as an additional report, bring in your sentiment analysis, bring in your metrics, join the whole thing together, and then present it to your CFO and CEO to say, we need investment because we are losing money by not improving these key touch points of our journey stages. And therefore, you will go to the next stage and you will have somebody like you as a consultant going in there, helping the organization fix those things. Absolutely. But it's a very quick way of proving financial impact. And this is the only time the CEO and the CFO will listen to you regarding CX.
Very, very interesting model. So help me understand in the context of, let's say, any B2B organization like, let's say, industrial or manufacturing kind of organizations which have a handful of clients. Let's say they have around 20 or 30 odd clients, and each client delivers a substantial, this is true for even software organizations, and each client delivers a huge, because you worked in KPMG kind of organizations, I'm sure you have done this before. So in this kind of scenario, what kind of B2B CX initiatives can be driven, one, and how will this tool be useful in this kind of a ecosystem?
See, to a starting point is less than just the ROI tool initially, is to look at what are your customers saying to you? What are your employees saying to you? So a recent company that I was talking to, they wanted somebody to come and help them with their client experience. When I talked to them to a whole end-to-end, I looked at their reviews of the clients, what they are saying, where are they facing the issues? Is it on onboarding? Is it maintaining the relationship? Is it maintaining the loyalty and the trust? Are they continually, if they have sold a product, then are they managing that relationship onwards? Or is it just, thank you very much, sir, here's a check, see you later, maybe after 1 year we will renew the license? Yeah. But the problem now is everybody is human. We are dealing with the human. We're not dealing with the company, we're dealing with the human being. So the relationship building has to be ongoing. The communication has to be ongoing. There should be no gaps in between the very first hello to the goodbye. In between, if there's some waiting time, the customer needs to be continuously updated and letting them know where the situation is, where the issues are. If you're providing them with a service or a tool or a lead time for manufacturing, they need to be updated on a regular basis. That's all they want to know. So they feel secure. They feel like they know everything is going smoothly. It's when you stop communicating with them, there is blanks in between. That is the problem that makes the customer feel unappreciated and makes them feel undervalued, because they know you just want the money, you don't care about the relationship. And then when the time comes for your renewal, the B2B company wonders why the client has not renewed, because now they have found somebody else who is more engaging, more caring, and more involved in helping them grow their business. So for a B2B consultant or a company, it's about building the relationship, not just selling the thing.
Very nicely articulated, Muss. In fact, many of the points you mentioned are covered in my book as well. Humanizing experience is what I call as H to H, human to human, right?
Yeah,
and
totally agree.
We stop at being a vendor, and we don't migrate. Yeah, that's what I try to indicate. Yeah, so that's what I. And then we stop at being a vendor, and we don't want to become a strategic partner to the organization because of the reasons that all you mentioned. So excellent. So in this, let's say there is a client like this in the B2B sector, and how will they use your ROI tool? How will the tool lend itself for a scenario like that? If somebody like me wants to go and convince them that they need to drive any CX initiative.
If you are talking to a B2B client, then
Yes.
You need to, first of all, see the misalignment between their leadership. Like I said, there's two types of clients. Those clients who don't believe they have an issue. Now, the first thing is to identify the gap, that there is an issue. Now, there's another tool I have, which is totally free. It's called the Snapshot tool. And I will share that link with you if you want to share it with your audience. And that is a self-assessment for the senior person to fill in and to say there's 12 questions against my 6 framework, to saying where they think they are today, where would they like to be. Yeah, is that their assessment, not yours. So once they've identified the gap and you already are speaking to them and you know their financials, so no company will say, yes, we have this many customers, this is total revenue we generated in the last 12 months, this is our journey. You can also have an average idea of an organization in the industry, what it looks like, and you can get them, or you can get them to give you the numbers. There's only 5 basic numbers you need to plug into this report, which is total active customers, total revenue, lifetime value if they have it, otherwise it will calculate everything for you, and the volume of customers in each of those stages. That's all you need to run the whole report. You can add extra metrics in there, but this is all you need to calculate the revenue risk. Once you show the financial risk of the leakage of the conversion rates, they will automatically listen to you and say, okay, we understand there is a gap, we are losing the money, let's fix these, plug them up, so we're not leaking any money. How can we do it? But as an organization, you can only improve, maybe you target yourself like 5-10%. So you can decide, do I fix all my stages by 10%? Do I fix my retention churn by 5-10%? What would that mean in regards to uplift in value? So you can use it that way as well. But initially, it's about understanding how do they currently speak to their customers? What are your employees in the front line saying? There was one company I spoke to, amazing culture book. They had a culture book. This is how we're going to treat customers. This is how we treat our peers in the company and employees. But when I asked them, if something goes wrong, who's accountable? Nobody. Nobody lives up to it. They have big boards on the wall with all the mission statements and everything, beautiful culture, naming everything, but nobody's accountable. And when I read the reviews online about employees, they had a lot of people complaining that this culture in this company is very bad, even though they had. So when I show this to the CEO and the directors, and I said to them, you need to work to fix this because you are leadership. It starts with you as a leadership. So like I mentioned before, the service chain model. Yeah. So we said the profitability comes from advocate customers who pay extra because they were treated really, really well by employees who went above and beyond delivering the customer experience, because the culture enabled them to be empowered, trained, and feeling valued and seen. When the culture is there, the culture is driven by the leadership. The leadership fixes that culture, embeds it into the organization, and that's how you build a profitable organization. And it's driven by people, not tools, not AI. AI is there to help you enhance and empower your organization backend, your processes, your operational. But it's the people to people communication, engagement, empathy. All these drive revenue for your organization.
Absolutely. No, I think the point you mentioned about this cycle, and that also relates to humanizing experience, your theme, very well, because end of the day, it is the behavior, starting with the leader's behavior, and that drives the behavior of the employees, which in turn drives the behavior of the customer to do more business with them. So ultimately, that's what these intangibles are, what contribute to tangible revenue growth and stuff like that. So very interesting point. Just wanted to know, so when you talk about this tool, I'm very eager to try this tool with maybe a client or a scenario where in B2B where we can apply this and go and pitch this, because it's always one difficult step that organizations have to cross when they want to commit to something like CX. So this tool, I think, is a lovely opportunity for sponsors to kind of numerically evaluate the benefit of going to towards customer experience. So excellent tool. So I'm very eager to try this out, maybe with some of the clients, and then that can also be an opportunity for other organizations to explore.
I just want to add that this tool is private. Privacy was the highest thing I made sure, because the data you will put in there is very sensitive for the organization. So nobody can see what you put in there. Only the user can see it. So if you are doing it on behalf of the client, or the client is doing it, only the person logged in can see the data, can see the report, can see whatever is generated. If you delete it, everything gets deleted. So it's that private. Even I don't know what you have put in there. So that's number one. Number two, for you to go in there, sign up, put your numbers in, play with it, even see the report, view the report. It's free. So you can still do it, everything in there for free. Until if you want the report to download it and you want to embed it into your board report and data and everything, then you pay for it. Otherwise, you don't pay for it. So I did this purely out of my passion, my love for the CX community, for the leadership out there, to change their perspective, to see that people come first. And you can improve so much right now by doing this. And it's simple.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a very welcome move from your side, and because initially, the folks who are building these kind of business cases, like the analysts and the others, first they have to be confident enough before they go and present it to their leadership. So the ability to play around by putting in different numbers to see what's actually coming out will be a very useful way of using this tool. So that's very nice of you. So how does one access it? Do they visit your website, create a profile, and then access the tool, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the landing page is simple. It's called ROI.ru-cx.com. That will take you directly to the landing page. Sign up. It's free to sign up. Put your details in there, who you are, what's your level, as in, are you consultancy, are you banking, are you whichever, because it will offer you the different stages. So once you've done that, you will send you to an assessment page where you will put in your volume of figures. If you want to add metrics, by all means, add the metrics. It adds better to the report, but it doesn't drive the analysis. So once you've done your journey stages, you can uniquely use these journey stages at 3 different levels. One, at organizational level, which you're looking at the sales funnel, or you can look at a customer persona level and look at their journey stages and do it that level. Or you can have a product, like if you're a bank, you got savings or credit card, you can do it like savings and look at the different journeys and do it at that level. So there's 3 different levels. It's like a strategic tool, not just a board level, reporting tool. You can do so much with this. So once you run this, you can see the dashboard. Then you go to the scenario tool, which you can decide which part of the journey I want to improve by which percentage. It will give you an automatic uplift volume of revenue that you can engage. Once you are happy with it, it will then take you back to the dashboard. You can refresh it and go view the report. And then it will give you everything from whatever you put into your maturity assessment, where the gaps are. It will tell you which journey stages you need to fix first, where you need to fix first, how you need to fix first. And that's just a recommendation based on what you've given the tool. Yeah. Then it's up to you. Who do you then take this report to across your marketing team, your sales team, your IT team, your customer service? You bring them all together saying, here are the different stages. This is what we're losing right now financially. Where can each of you help in those areas, from inquiry to retention? And it's all that you involve everybody. It's not just one person's job. You can then share that and then come up with the next project work, who's going to do what, and do one project at a time.
Absolutely. No, very, very interesting. So I see this as like, so I do a one-time payment to get access to it, or is it like a subscription model where I have access for a year or so, or how does that work?
So right now, you can join for free. If you don't want the full year subscription and you want to do just a one-off report, it will cost you £500 just to run to export the report. But until then, it's free. Yeah. So so there's a cost to export the report. If you want more reports at different levels, then you can take the 1-year subscription. This is a special offer right now for the launch price, which is 2.5K in the UK currency, and you can have up to 8 reports that you can run and multiple assessments. And then beyond that, it becomes cheaper if you get more and more reports. But at the moment, because of my accreditation with the Customer Institute, I'm celebrating that. I'm giving away 2 full-year subscription to whoever runs the report, runs all the analysis, and shares that on the social media platform and tags me in to say this is what they learned from it, this is how they improved, this is where they were able to focus. And hopefully randomly out of the 10 people, I will pick 2 and I give them free for 1 year.
Absolutely interesting. Yeah. So I think consultants also might find a lot of value from this. So very interesting and useful information, Muss. One last question on the intangibles. While I understand the report captures all the tangible elements like revenue loss and leakage and stuff like that, many organizations also want to look at NPS or numbers like that, customer satisfaction scores, and they want to improve that. So does this tool also capture that data along with the revenue details?
No. So this is purely on operational approach to commercialize the journey. Yeah, you would already have the sentiment analysis, you will already have the NPS scores and everything else here. So what you can do is enhance your report to the board report that you get from the tool. Yeah. So once you've done the one assessment, maybe 6 months later or 12 months later, you want to run the report again. So what that does is then you can compare from the first time you run the report to now, how much you have improved your NPS. Yeah, but it's not an NPS driver. So this is the problem we have in all industries, whether it's B2B and B2C. They see that NPS is the driver for CX or improvement of customer experience. It is not. It is an afterthought value of what you have done, not what you are doing. So what we are trying to do is change that perspective. And there's many other metrics you should be looking at, like retention rate, churn rate, looking at, your complaints level, your first time resolutions, all those type of things that you have. Those are the things you should be measuring, how well you are doing operationally as an organization. And that will drive your NPS score. If you're closing branches, or you're making the process very more difficult to do for the client, the CES score is going to drop, the CSAT score is going to drop, of course. So look at the operation of what you're doing.
Yeah, so focus on the lead metrics rather than focusing on the lag metric, which is NPS, which is always going to be better if you focus on the lead metric. So very good, interesting insights, Muss. So please do share the link, and I will share it when I'm sending it to my audience. Yeah. So anything else, Muss, that you wanted to talk about? I think we've come to the end of the interview. It was very nice talking to you. Anything else that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I would say please do get in touch if they want to know more about the tool itself. I also am an advocate of using AI in a more humanized way. And I also wrote a book on the year of AI and customer centricity and where does it sit. So yeah, I'm putting that together very quick. I'm doing a course based on that to help organizations or people to understand when and how to use AI. But I'm looking forward to further conversations about where does AI come into B2B and B2C with you, and how you currently using it. So yeah, but do get in touch with me on LinkedIn, and let's have a conversation. I'm always happy to have a conversation in human to human.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and Muss is very active on social media and LinkedIn particularly, and he's based in UK. So anyone interested in UK, getting in touch with him for doing a ROI pilot for CX program in the organization, I'm more than glad to connect with him.